everyone, Radical Incoherent here, back with more Rome Total War Remastered as Germania. Last we left off, we were bullying the Dacians a little bit, and we had to quickly kill this army before we made our way to their last remaining city. So, let's get into that. Looks like they're just moving up with their chosen archers, which is a little bit confusing to me. Because, I mean, if you put your chosen archers in the very front, I just charge them with cavalry. I don't want both of these units trying to charge at once, because I know it'll fail catastrophically. They'll just trip over each other. It won't actually be helpful. At this point, I want them to back off. I don't want them to keep going forward. Alright, I want to pause this briefly, make sure that my units are all running to the other side. Good. Just need my line in front of these skirmishers. These can just peel off straight to the side. The general can also just continue his flank. And everything is perfectly fine here. We managed to kill a decent portion of the skirmishers, or the archers rather. Wait, the archers are charging. Why are the archers charging? I'm have these Sarmatians just run those guys down. Don't need my Sarmatians fighting right now, I can just have them buying time. At this point, I just need everyone charging to make sure that they're pinned for my cavalry charge. Are you in phalanx formation? Oh, you are. I thought I took them out forever ago.
You have killed the enemy general. Now his men.
So, Dacia successfully bullied. No problems here. And now I can continue on to the Dacian capital. Now there's a little Gallic stack around here. I'm not sure exactly what I plan to do about that. Probably nothing. Yeah, definitely nothing. I believe I've already moved everything I have as far as it goes. So yes, that was the last thing in the previous turn. But let's not quite end it yet. We just sacked a city. We can build some happiness buildings. Okay, so I literally invested all of that money into shrines to Freya across my top half of my empire, the areas I started with the exception of, apparently Vika's Marco money grew, so I've queued up the Warlord's Hold there. And now, let's continue on and see what happens in the interim. Oh. Victory! Does that... I'm gonna load my end save, because that is not at all the end of my turn. Usually when a unit has queued action, you can take over that queued action. But since he was standing right by his target, when his target retreated, that was viewed as action finished and not just, like, the first part of an action, which it clearly was. So, let's deal with this. Oh. Interestingly, if I do it myself, he doesn't retreat, which makes it even more frustrating. I'm not quite sure what they're doing with these two swordsmen. I guess they didn't want to have them anymore. So I'm just going to pause it here to execute like relatively precise movement commands with these phalanxes. And as they approach, I'm going to start moving my cavalry around because the battle will be engaged and he can safely do his thing. And that's the fight. Very sad for Gaul. This whole campaign has been very sad for Gaul. Alright. Unfortunately, this unit doesn't quite have the movement to make it anywhere meaningful, so I'll just have it continue moving towards Agastica. Which honestly looks like it might have been one of the towns that should have made something, and since I have 400 left, I'll have it make a shrine right now. And now it's actually the end of the turn. A part of me wants to say yes. And in fact, I will. I'm nowhere near their last city right now. Another candidate for adoption. I think what's happened is I've expanded so quickly that the game's just throwing adoption candidates at me because I'm supposed to have more family members for how much land I have. And he shows up here in Iridium, ready to join a war. Problem is, these ships are already setting sail. Oh wow, the Scipii have some stacks down here. What the fuck is this? It's literally all Histani. I'm gonna go ahead and bring my second boat in this same direction, because it's looking like I might be needing it. That is an absurd number of Histani. I assume Hassan is out of people at this point. God damn. So I have a couple relatively easy sieges to handle here. My first question, I suppose, is, am I going to war with Carthage this turn? The answer is definitively yes. So I want to fight this battle before anything else. We can see they have an unreasonable number of chevrons. This is probably Carthage's starting army from Spain then. But still, not that much infantry. I have phalanxes. I should be able to do this. So, my units are pretty one-dimensional, and I realize now I'm going to need to draw up in a wide line, as wide a line as I reasonably can. And the reason for this, I'm actually going to group these and lock them, is because I need this line to be able to hold against the enemy line no matter how wide they've deployed, and I don't have time to reposition because I'm going to be under ranged fire the whole time this fight is happening, and I've got nothing to give back. So, I guess let's start this off by trying to figure out where the fuck they are. They are not even in the woods. They're over here. I'm going to deploy here then. Keep my cavalry on the right instead. The axemen can go take the left flank. They look like they're trying to get to me rather aggressively. So I pull all of this a little bit back from where I was going. Now looking at their army, cavalry in the back, they've still got these slingers, these skirmishers, 2 units of Iberian infantry. And if they put these skirmishers, or these slingers rather, too far forward, I will absolutely pounce on that opportunity. Yeah, so right now everything's going pretty much perfectly to plan. My cavalry need to start swinging wider out. Going to pause, drop into phalanx. These can charge forward into something. I'll just have them keep these guys running, while some of my cavalry skirts around to deal with it. Have this back off. Have these cavalry move up. Have these break phalanx formation on this wing and start moving on their own to flank. Alright, I'm going to once again have the axemen charging their peltas to make sure this goes according to plan. Again, you're not supposed to be in phalanx, sir. I'm fine with that charge by my spearmen into their cavalry. And I'm going to have all of my cavalry join this clusterfuck to make sure it goes according to plan. If you guys would actually flank them, we'd be fine.
Enemy warlord shows his worth. Nothing.
So we should get their general here. What is happening here? What on earth is happening here? That is a good question.
You have killed the enemy general. Now his men. We need fight no more. The enemy are in.
So that's this army wiped out. Looks like Carthage didn't get anything done with its starting army in Spain, which is definitely a bad sign for them. It likely means they've done nothing at all in any of their various war fronts. It means they're set up to be very dead very soon. Now here, as we're at war with Carthage now, we're going to sail down, drop off this army. And there's no point attacking these slingers. If we do, they'll just retreat into the city. Also, dear God, that city is very unusually defended. We're going to build some rams, and then when we start the siege, they'll pull them in as reinforcements, and we'll kill them before they get in. And next turn, we're going to hire 2 units of slingers to help us with the siege, and just massively improve this army, really. Right now, it has no ranged, and 2 units of Balearic slingers is actually quite a lot of ranged. And as for this boat, I'm going to move it around to here. Just, it seems like the best place for it to be next turn. This army, just keep going. I was kind of hoping for Man of the Hour, but it wasn't exactly a hard fight, so I'm not surprised I didn't get it. Now we have a couple more easy fights this turn, like this siege. When I assault, are these actually full units? Yeah, he's got 3 units of Iberian infantry, 2 generals. And this army's kind of trash, isn't it? It only has a single phalanx. That's not necessarily enough to consistently handle what I'm up against. Unfortunately, all I'm getting from mercenaries, barbarian mercenaries, so we're going to be doing this with what we have. It shouldn't be too hard. It's just a lot nastier with only a single phalanx. There's no way for these guys to make it in time. But I will have them start moving west and trying to see what I can find out. Small Spanish army, if they attack me at the ford, they're super fucked. If not, don't really care. Let's get into this. I'm pretty sure we can do this quite easily. Hiring more barbarian mercenaries isn't going to help me with this fight. It's just going to be more bodies participating in the chain route. They're not going to give me any more maneuverability or power than I currently have. Alright, so same thing we always do. Ranged units get up front to push off the defenders, rams poke 30 holes in the gates, and things quickly go to shit for our enemies. Okay, so looking at this, it seems pretty obvious to me that I want to come in over here as far to the right as I can, have my phalanx block this, and my cavalry get inside the city and start running around. Everything else, it's a lot more up in the air. Okay. It looks like everything's going according to plan so far. Step 1 of operations complete. Step 2 should be basically automatically a success. My Spanish mercenaries haven't been on fire at will this whole time, which is a bit of a waste. Looks like my skirmisher warband has just used the last of their spears. It's only 13 guys, but sadly I have no ability to run them down right now. Alright, so what I've done this time is a little bit stupider than usual. I'm trying to set it up so that I can have my Iberian infantry throw their spears into their flank and have all of these mercenaries collapse around into them. I'm relying on the AI being stupid even more so than previously in this exact instance. Let's go see how this works. I suspect it's not going to go according to plan, but it's still going to work. I'm just going to lose a whole lot of these peasant mercenaries. Yeah, you may as well just run that guy down to get their attention. Yep, that seems to have stirred the hornet's nest a little bit. And I can't imagine they're not going to chase me, right? There we go. Alright, let's see what we're getting them to do. That pause makes me think they've already retargeted, but I don't know if that's actually true. Okay. This is a possibility I'd clearly been considering. Yeah, they don't seem super thrilled about what they just did. Did we kill their general? No, we didn't. Not their general, but their family member. Their general should be absolutely dead, though.
Enemy warlord lies dead. Now he can drink with his ancestors and watch his warriors flee.
Okay. Now at this point, I think we can do this a little bit better over here. Okay, my hope here is that when I let my slingers fire, they're going to run right here because it's the fastest path. If they go the other way, this is obviously a lot worse, but it's still probably fine. So, let's see where they go. We appear to be glitching out and not actually firing, so I'm going to try to reposition this. Yeah, that got their attention. Although they seem to have ran at a different unit than the one I was expecting. All of you to stop what you're doing, it's not relevant. I need this to stand back is what I just learned. It's too close right here. Yeah, there's something about this house where the position they're standing in as slingers causes their bullets to just hit the house and fail. Okay, this should actually be a line of fire that works continuously. Yeah, they're very unhappy. They don't know what to do. I had to aim at the massive unit instead of the one horse. So yeah, this is why having any sort of long-ranged unit is tremendously important. Just, it's comical, isn't it?
The enemy flee from the field like frightened goats. Hunt them down and slay them all. We need fight no more. The enemy are in full flight.
We lost 70 men against 2 faction leaders in a city. Never underestimate just how fucking important it is to have one long-ranged unit with your army. And right now, I definitely want to exterminate these cities. I don't think I can hold them if they're at full capacity. Actually, there's no culture penalty for this, even though it's not my god. Now let's me retrain my slingers with +2 to weapons? Or is it +2 to experience? Upgrades missile weapons +2. Holy shit. Yeah. That is actually such a massive deal that I almost want to stick around for it. Between my low number of infantry and that perk, I will actually be sticking around. In terms of who gets priority retraining, let's just consolidate my units as much as I can. These 2 full stacks of Barbarian Mercenaries and... Oh, I've got 3 full stacks of Barbarian Mercenaries. I just didn't see this one. I'll give the retraining to them as well. So that'll help replenish this army greatly. Now we have one more easy siege to get to. We need to wipe out Rome. Although, honestly, the correct thing to do is not to attack right now, because this general will get inside the walls. It's to just send some of my army out to go deal with the generals, because this will pull them as reinforcements and deal with both generals at once. They didn't retreat. Alright, let's get them. And then once this has been dealt with on the field, I will be more comfortable just fighting the siege. Wait, does he not have reinforcements? I could have sworn I was in range of that other unit. Oh, he seems to have decided to charge my cav. That's fine by me. It's not what I was planning on doing, but it'll work out. Yeah. Like, we'll just do it like this.
The enemy warlord is dead.
Like, he's still surrounded, he just did it himself instead of letting me do it. And it's slightly messier than my surround was planned to be. I say slightly messier, he failed to kill literally a single person despite taking the initiative, so... Woof. It's a little bit rough, isn't it? And here we can see a Roman unit, a Roman general. We may as well just keep slapping people around, right? Because I don't want to deal with these rebels on my lands in the future. This poor unit of Town Watch, man. Like, what the fuck are they supposed to do?
You have killed the enemy general. Now his men.
Apparently, we're supposed to kill 13 members of Noble Cav. Should have taken that a bit slower, apparently.
The enemy flee from the units.
Yeah, that's the fight. Good job, buddy.
You have killed the enemy general. Now this is a great victory.
So once again,
the cries of dying enemies are sweet music.
The commander does nothing. The Town Watch somehow got 13 men. That's not the way I thought this wound split would go, but it is about the number of wounds I expected to take. Alright. And you might think I've wasted a lot of movement, but you'll remember my boat's not actually here. It got pushed off by Spain last turn. In fact, my boat, through mismanagement, is over here, because I forgot that I had retrained it as a group. And looking at this, I'm not sure there's an efficient way to get this boat over here now. So it'll be a couple of turns before they can leave no matter what I had done. And I will move these back to the siege so that they can reinforce when this other army goes in. And this is going to be a complete fucking walkover. There's a Hastati and a Town Watch in here. You see what I've been doing to generals. These guys don't stand a chance in hell. Okay, so I've got all my cavalry spread around to charge in. I have all of these people now in phalanx formation, and we're going to see if we can't bait them out. Because we are in range to throw javelins at the town square. And in fact, that went exactly how I thought it would. Which is the death of the enemy army. Yep. It was a very close siege. Perhaps the closest siege that we have ever had. Now here, I do think I'm going to enslave, or even occupy, I feel like I'm setting myself up for this settlement to riot. Also, I finally killed the Julii. Feel really good about that for some reason, since they were my first campaign. Anyway, now that I've done that, I still have enough to recruit a person, so absolutely. Now that I know I still had the resources to recruit, to retrain my damaged spearmen and get a garrison, I don't have any doubt in my mind that I've made the correct choice. I'll just use these cavalry to start the fight here. They're finally out of movement. And this army is pretty small, pretty weak, should easily be able to be dealt with. So let's go out and deal with them now. Are they trying to charge something with their cavalry, or are they just repositioning? Repositioning. And as you can see, they're not in a particularly good spot, so to have my phalanx line advance on them, this one unit of spearmen just moving around to draw them too thin. They can't deal with this flank. Light cavalry take this flank, and my heavy cav are going to get fully behind the enemy. I'm going to have these units charge the Siberian infantry just to keep them locked up. This unit can break phalanx and just charge them in the back at this point. I meant to tell these guys to back off much earlier, but it will be fine. My only concern with this fight is the possibility that I might actually not run them all down. This unit of cavalry is going to get away, but I suspect that's going to be enough to still wipe them out. Oh, with 84 alive, they might actually not have their whole army die, since the cavalry routed without suffering any major losses, and we're nowhere near surrounded. That actually might be one unit of cavalry just walking around on Corsica that I have no ability to deal with. Nope, he's dead. Awesome. And now we can walk back into the city, and let's see if we're able to retrain any wounds we just took. Answer, sadly, is no. I mean, we can retrain some of them, but we're going to be left with 24 men missing. 24, 27, 28 men missing. But still, that's most everything. We can hire more Balearic Slingers here next turn before we leave, which is fantastic news. And I believe that's most of this turn handled, but I've been recording for a while now, so... This has been Rather Incoherent. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, and all of that jazz. It really helps the channel out. Now, I think we handled all of the small, easy fights already. There's some stuff left to do this turn. I mean, we got 11,000 Inari lying around. But for now, I'm going to end the video. I've been Rather Incoherent. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, then please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. All of that stuff really helps the channel grow. And I'll see you around.